story time about how I'm hopelessly in love with my boss and I'm about to be a homewrecker, but help me! Disclaimer, this is not my story time. It was sent to me on Instagram. So I've been working for my boss for 3 months. He's in the tech world and he makes lots of money, and he hired me as a personal assistant. He's got a wife and 3 kids. They've been married for 15 years, and he's 18 years older than I am. One day my friend told me that this guy was looking for a personal assistant, and I applied for the job. I had my first interview, and right away I was super attracted to him, and I could tell that he was attracted to me. Like, you know, when you like someone and, you know, there's just a vibe between you guys. He then called me in for a second interview, and in this interview we basically spoke about everything he would want me to do and what the job entailed. I mostly had to run his schedule and set up meetings for him with clients and different things like that. So it's not like I was getting him his laundry or running errands for him. A few days later he calls me and tells me that I got the job. He offered me a lot of money, more than it was advertised at the beginning when I went for the interview. So I took the job. But here's the thing. From the time I did my first interview, I had not stopped thinking about this man. Like, I already had feelings for him before I even started working for him. So I decided to dress really cute for my first day, and he noticed. I mean, I was playing this man like a fiddle. My goal was to get him to fall for me. After the first week, he asked me to go to lunch with him to celebrate the fact that I had been doing a good job. Of course, I said yes. Went to this beautiful restaurant and had wine. We then went back to his office and I went home. Later on, he sends me a text message saying that he's so proud of me for doing such a good job. Fast forward a few weeks, I kept flirting, he kept flirting back. Finally, at the end of the month, we went to another lunch. This is when he opened up to me and told me that he was attracted to me. I told him I was attracted to him too. Part 2 is up. Part 2 of how I'm hopelessly in love with my boss and I'm about to be a homewrecker, so I need your guys' help. Disclaimer, this is not my story time. It was sent to me on Instagram. After my first month of working there, he took me out to lunch and decided to tell me that he was attracted to me. So of course I confessed to him that I was attracted to him as well. I mean, duh, it was so obvious. At this point, I had done everything in my power to make him fall in love with me. I wore the cutest outfits, always did my hair and makeup. If I went to Starbucks, I would always get him a drink as well, and I would even bring him home-cooked meals sometimes. So in other words, I went out of my way to make him see that I am totally wifey material. And yes, I was always aware that he was married and had kids, but he didn't look happy with his wife. She never came to the office, and they never spent any time together. And according to him, she had an affair last year, and he's pretty sure that she's back with the guy that she was having an affair with. First, I didn't know whether to believe him or not, but then he showed me screenshots of messages that she had sent to this guy. That's when he asked me if I wanted to go have lunch again. Then he asked me to go to the movies, and we made out the entire time. So I'm sitting there making out with my boss. That's when he tells me that we have to keep this hush-hush, because if the company finds out, he will be in major trouble and so will I. But he's a high earner in the company, so he can't be messing around. This would ruin his life. Ever since the first kiss, he basically treats me like his work girlfriend. And every day for lunch, we go out to a restaurant just to get to know each other. It's the only time we have together. About a week ago, he asked me if I would be willing to marry him if he divorced his wife. I said yes right away, but honestly, I'm not sure if I want him to leave his wife for me. And his kids. I never thought of myself as a homewrecker. Well, because I said yes, he said that we should try to find a way to tell his wife. I mean, I don't even want to meet this woman, and he wants both of us to talk to her. I told him we should wait at least a few months before we do that. That's when he got me a new apartment. That way, when he leaves his wife, he's already got a place to stay. And of course, he wants to live with me right away. It's a luxury apartment, and I love it. Part 3 is up. Part 3 of how I'm hopelessly in love with my boss and I'm about to be a homewrecker. So yes, I need your guys' help. Disclaimer, this is not my story time. It was sent to me on Instagram. So now that he got me my new luxury apartment, which I'm totally in love with, by the way, I have a sauna in my shower. He wants us to plan out how we're gonna tell his wife. Like I said in part 2, I don't know if I want him to leave his wife for me. I mean, I see a future with him, but do I really want him to leave his wife and his kids for me? He even wants to start planning the wedding. He wants to move in together right away, plan the wedding, and get married. He promises me that his kids will love me and that his wife won't have a problem because she's already having an affair with someone else. But I feel like that's just him being hopeful, and it's really not going to be that easy. So I opened up to my family and I told them what's going on. My mom told me that as long as he leaves his wife and everything is good with the kids, then we should feel free to be together. But ultimately, she doesn't want me to be a homewrecker. I definitely feel like things are going way too fast. I mean, tomorrow we're gonna go taste a bunch of cakes at a really nice bakery. Oh yeah, and he even took me shopping for a wedding ring. He wants to buy me one that's $40,000. It's 3.2 carats. So unfortunately, now that I told my family, a few cousins found out what was happening. And one of my cousins reached out to my ex. She told him what was happening and he called me to ask me not to marry this guy. He says we can work on our relationship. But let me tell you, this ex was totally toxic. He would monitor everything I would do. He never let me have friends, and he didn't even allow me to have Instagram. Oh yeah, and he's kind of broke. I mean, I was the one paying for most of the stuff in the relationship, so I don't even know if I want to open that can of worms again. But part of me thinks he's right. Like, I shouldn't be rushing into this. But on the other hand, I found myself a wonderful man. He's so loving, caring, so generous, and he's actually super fun to be with too. I've never felt more secure in a relationship before, and I know that most women would love to be with him too. What do you guys think I should do?
Scariest dark web stories, part 1. Okay, so there was once this guy who did nothing else but play on the dark web. He would skip basketball practice to play on it. He would be up late at night. I mean, he was on it 24/7. So like everybody else, he wanted to meet a friend. So he went on this chat room, and him and this guy, they did nothing but share funny videos back and forth with one another through the dark web chat room. So over the course of the next 3 months, they ended up building a really, really good friendship. Well, that was until his so-called friend sent a link. So once the man clicked the link, to his surprise, there was a live stream playing. And there were over 100 people in this chat room watching this live stream. So as he was watching this live stream, a woman who was tied up, being carried by a man with a black mask, popped into the screen. The man then said on the camera he wanted everybody in the chat room to vote which weapon he should use on this woman. There was a flamethrower, boiling water, and a gun. The chat then voted on the boiling water, and they put this woman in the boiling water on live stream. The craziest dark web stories, part 2. This story is very, very scary because this happened actually pretty recently. So everybody knows who this man is, right? Donald Trump, the 45th president of the United States. What if I told you that people on the dark web have actually tried to kill Donald Trump? So pretty much there's a group of internet hitmen known as Unfriendly Solutions. Nobody knows who Unfriendly Solutions is, but what if I told you that I actually have the file he sends you? Kind of like the purchase confirmation. Here's what it looks like. I'll kind of read some to you. First one, no personal information but the information about the victim is allowed to be exchanged. I don't want to know anything about you, and you don't have to know anything about me. Here's another one. I often get asked this, but I do not videotape my work. He's been in business for 7 years. But pretty much a guy contacted him trying to assassinate Donald Trump, and apparently the only reason it didn't happen is because the guy didn't pay enough. Just really think about that for a second. Follow for part 3. Scary stories about the dark web, part 3. Also click the link in my bio because I posted my phone number on the dark web, and you'd be surprised how many people called me, so link in bio. If you have a weak stomach, I wouldn't recommend this one. So there used to be a webpage known as Animal Nightmare, and it is exactly how it sounds. So in one of the videos, there was a kitten who had both of his arms and legs tied up, as well as the mouth. I promise this ending has a happy ending, so just bear with me. And in this video, you kept hearing walking, and it ended up being a woman in red high heels. The woman then stomped the cat over and over and over again. One of the messed up things though is on this particular forum website, you couldn't pause videos and you couldn't stop videos. Once you clicked play, it played. She then stomped the kitten for 19 minutes long. Now here's the happy ending. Some animal activists actually tracked this woman down, and they stomped her over and over and over again for hours until the woman died. So make sure you guys follow for part 4. Creepy videos that you shouldn't watch at night, but you're going to anyway, part 4. Also, I'm sitting really weird because I slept wrong and I have the worst crick in my fucking neck. So tonight's video is called 17. I don't know how I was able to find this, so this might be really interesting. So this was posted just a couple days ago, April 17th, 2020. Like, what is this? It gets worse. Now, if you thought that was creepy, here's the creepiest part about it. If you look at the description, there are these numbers. I'm gonna leave them right here just in case anybody can translate this, but I have no idea what these numbers mean. Apparently the message is crypted, so if this blows up enough, hopefully somebody can decrypt it for me. Make sure to follow because I will keep you guys updated. Also go check out my latest YouTube video, link in bio. I posted my phone number on the dark web, and you'd be very surprised how many people called me. Creepy videos that you shouldn't watch at night, but you're going to anyway, part 6. So if you guys saw the last 2 part of my series, pretty much we watched a really scary video, and the owner of that video messaged me twice. That was until last night. Now he's messaged me 3 times, and this one is terrifying. So I'm gonna show you guys the video and tell me if you remember it. All right, here is the new message that he sent me. If you guys want to try and decode this and see for yourselves, just save this video and look at it. But for the people who want me to decrypt it, I got you. So I took the numbers and I converted it into the alphabet, and it says, drink something black. Now it's all that I taste. It's inside my body. God makes no mistakes. What the hell does that mean? So make sure you guys follow because the next part is going to get crazy.